Hello again, this is BGFH. Welcome back to Illegally Cited. We are continuing our journey through this really unfortunate family of the Finches and What Remains of Edith Finch. And it's just, weirdness to tragedy to more tragedy, and just all kinds of just odd deaths and all kinds of nonsense. So this is a really interesting flashback, and one of the really inventive
Dear Mrs.
ones.
Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Alright, so he is right now he's doing this job basically at the cannery, chopping fish heads off, putting them on the conveyor belt.
But he withdrew part of himself.
And that's what I'm doing right now.
I saw the same behavior.
So simple enough.
His mind began to...
Got tired of the drudgery. So now we have this weird little glowy darkness window thing over there. So he's kind of showing that he's getting distracted. He's getting bored at this monotonous job.
Wonder.
So now I can move my hand back and forth with the mouse to do his real life job as fish come in. And with my WASD, I move a character through this game. It's like a video game that or this thing that he's created in his head, as you'll see here soon.
I asked him to describe it.
Chopping up fish, playing video games.
Small.
So weird.
Imagining a labyrinth.
So you're trying to multitask. Multitask and do two things at once here.
Then something moved. Bats.
Okay.
And toads.
Toads. Okay. Can't go that way. Can I go this way? Yep. Oh, weird. It's really kind of a hard. It's
things that have not names.
I can't really talk because I'm like just as distracted as this guy is. I'm trying to do these two simultaneous tasks. I'm doing this like chopping off fish heads, and
he knew it was all in his head.
Going through this maze. Alright, so this one, what I gotta do is I gotta grab... How do I make this work again? I forget how I did this before. Okay, here we go.
But he took it very seriously.
So he's making up his own little worlds here. He's bored.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
So now we've switched, now we're on this red carpeted, it's kind of like an overhead view, and he's like creating this kingdom or something. She'll explain more here in a second.
But he found something more.
Now this part here, there are parts of this where it kind of goes isometric, and it's sort of hard to see where you're actually supposed to go, because it's really zoomed out.
Gleaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss, but he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Okay.
Like a whole new Lewis.
Still drudging away over here at the cannery, chopping off his sheds.
So I let him go on.
Okay, where the heck am I here? Okay, there he is.
I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first.
Hey, puppy.
He told me he'd made a new friend.
So we're cruising up, and now we're outside again, kind of in this like rocky area here.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Okay. And where are we going here? Okay, we gotta go up this way.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Okay, now we're starting to get people to follow us in the game part, in his imagination. And I'm still sitting here chopping off fish
And
heads.
songs for them to play.
But I'm not even looking at it. Like, I can just...
He talked about starting a band.
It's so weird. I'm actually just, like, not even paying attention to the fish part because I know exactly what I'm supposed to do. And I'm just looking at the weird imagination part right now.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Okay, we're climbing up a bunch of stairs. Holy crap, now we're getting a giant crowd
He
of
no
people
longer spoke
following.
at the cannery.
Tons of people following me now. Okay, now this is where do I... Let's see, I forget where I'm supposed to go here because there's so many people. It's almost hard to see where
But
it
his
is
chopping was as reliable as ever.
I'm supposed to go. Alright, get rid of these fish here. Where the hell is I'm supposed to go? Can't go under the canopy.
Then one day it struck him
Oh, here we go. Okay, it's just an overhang. Okay.
that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
Okay.
He held an election for mayor.
I'm just kind of keeping
And you-
quiet so you can kind of see.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Okay, so now this is weird. Now we're in this whole other area. We're still doing our cannery job, but now we're at this weird...
Conquer a city, then immediately push on.
So he went through that city, now he's just moving on to other places. Moving forward in our
New
imagination.
Louisville. St. Louis.
Okay.
He started drifting away from our reality.
And we actually get some branching paths we get to decide here too pretty soon.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis! Yay! I
Until
know where
one
that
day
is.
he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Okay.
Even as his mother pleaded with him.
Oh,
part
it's getting
of
all
Lewis kept
dark.
Sailing on.
Okay, where the hell am I? Hey, duder, where are we here? Nah. Okay, now we're back in our little game again. Still doing
In
our
Louisville,
fish thing.
He heard rumors of a
Let's go to the right, so I can choose.
handsome queen.
Okay. So I could have chose a prince or a or a queen, which we just did here. We keep moving up in this really bizarre
The queen was on her own quest for...
imagination, so we're just gonna, I don't know, we'll go to the left. Why
sinister
not?
serpents.
Okay, serpents, that's interesting.
He followed the sound of her...
Huh. Go left again.
electric sitar.
Electric sitar. Okay. This got weird. Yes. Yeah, that's a sitar, all right.
His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
All right.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh, still doing the fish thing. Now we're entering this golden palace, still kind of isometric view, but it's
was all in his imagination.
kind of hard to see what's going on here. Get out of the way, fish. I can't see. There's too much. Get out of here, fish. Where's my dude? Where's the little... Oh, there he is. Okay, hold on. Get out of here. I need to be able to see better. So now we're going to climb up a bunch of stairs. And the camera has shifted. It's getting a little bit closer.
But he was so proud of having created it.
So now we're almost behind the behind view now. Grab the fish, get rid of it.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Okay. Delusional! Got it. Got a whole bunch of people. We're going forward here. In this
For
giant
someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
golden palace. So we're keep moving forward in his imagination. And we're still doing
Then
our...
it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh, wait, we gotta go back here. There we go. Let's go up these palace stairs here. Oh, another fish. Come here. Fishy. There we go. Get out of the way. I need to see.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me.
Yeah, fair enough. Come on. Get.
It was hard to argue with him.
Okay, where are we going here? Okay, through the door. And that's cool. It just fades in. Now we are presumably back in our... We're in first person. We're actually playing like we're exploring the whole environment here, but we're playing as him at the factory, essentially, because we're in some kind of a storage room here. Oh, it's like a locker room. Okay, we got a bunch of lockers here. So he's probably done with his shift. Got some containers here, a whole bunch of lockers, some benches. Probably change out all
Began
those
to forget the
smelly,
world we know.
smelly clothes. Oh, I couldn't imagine working in this place like that, just smelling
I think it
fish
pained
all
him
day.
to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Yeah, bunch of conveyor belts still going. Fish everywhere. My God. There's a lot of fish.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Okay, we'll keep on going. Good Lord, look at all those fish. Yeesh.
I still thought I could save him.
Now we're kind of heading
Even
up a
after he
conveyor
said he was
belt
being
here.
crowned king over all the lands of wonder.
Going into the golden light.
The palace would be packed with his companions.
And now we're back in his fantasy again. Yay, the king! Yay! We got a whole bunch of people. We got some instruments here. I'm not even moving by myself. We got this conveyor belt going. We're just... So we've kind of mixed our...
Wise Calico had insisted on advising him.
Kind of a mixed reality of, like, blending his monotony with his messed up imagination here. And we're gonna wrap this scene up here pretty quick, but first, yeah, we gotta take care of some stuff here. Hey, bud. How you guys doing? Yeah, they're loving it.
His
Soldiers.
queen waited, holding his crown.
It's a nice big old castle. Holy crap.
There was only one thing left to do.
Bunch of soldiers at attention.
Bend down his head.
Yeah, so what do you think of this?
The rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Yeah. Off with his head or something, I guess? That was interesting twist.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Yeah, about that. Okay, so now we've met another family member. And he... Yeah. Boy, just no one is surviving. This is bad. Okay, so now we're going to keep going up. So, like I said, we're climbing this crazy...
Lisa's funeral. My mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Okay, we got to keep going up here in this crazy...
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
It's a messed up house, man. Look, I mean, look at how high this is. And it's like just, it almost looks like this haphazard thing. It's just so weird looking.
I wish we'd stayed.
Yeah. So we're getting close to the...
Why we left.
We're getting close to the end of the game here. Might finish it in this video. We might do one more. I forget exactly how much is left, but I think... I know we're getting fairly close to the end here, so we got another... oh, okay, yeah, I can go up some more stairs.
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
Yep, boxes. Just everything.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Now we're going up this spiral staircase thing. Oh, okay, ladder.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Okay, yeah, we'll just keep going here. I think we'll try to wrap it up here in this video. So now we're gonna find out why or how they left. You know, that's why now we can figure out, oh, okay, why is this house so, you know, just everything looks like it's, you know, just been abandoned suddenly. And now you're going to find out.
Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Okay. Alright, so we've been booted out of the dining room. Can't go in there anymore. So now we're back in the house.
The
Before
power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles.
all the pictures and I always thought that was sort of weird, like having these like spiders and butterflies on these tag boards. Those are just weird. Like, just oh yeah, just pin these dead animals to the wall. All right, whatever.
When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
Okay, one more secret passage because of course we have to. Okay, so now we're gonna get a little eavesdrop action here.
That thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house.
Sneaking through the library here. Let's see, where the heck am I supposed to go here? Did I go too far? Yes, I did.
Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
Yeah, they both got a point.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sure she'll love that. Alright, so we got a letter on the desk. Or a book here.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
So now we're in this first-person flashback
It was
from...
the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years.
Okay.
God, it smelled awful. No, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it.
Just a whole... It's just we're at night
When
here.
the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
And a bunch of rocks and stuff. It's just a nice... Or just a big old... Kind of a ravine sort of a thing. Well, not really a ravine, but...
I got turned around.
Okay, so I now... And it's cool how they modify the environment so you can't go forward. It's kind of just like this, oh, perception of like how you... Okay, so I just turn around. We're in this... All you can see is fog, this gray haze.
I started seeing things.
What the heck? Okay. Still walking.
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Still can't
But
see hardly...
when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Okay, I can't hardly see a damn thing here. Guess we're probably
Or
supposed...
maybe I came back to them.
Okay, maybe we go this way. Okay, yeah, we got a gate here. So we're on the right track. And we're headed...
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
Uh-oh.
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Ah, mine, gimme.
I kicked and screamed,
Ripped.
but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Yeah,
The
going
next
away
morning,
from the
van came
house.
to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Yeah, she's not dumb. She'll
After
get out
that,
of
we
there.
moved around a lot.
Now she's kind of sitting
We
there
both tried to make the best of it.
in the car with her hand out the window, feeling the breeze. Kind of a weird camera perspective. A few years went by.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
Got her hand laying there like she's dying.
She got better for a while.
My hand is going toward hers.
And then she didn't.
Clasping hands.
And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Just going through this kind of, oh, okay. Alright, so
This
it
journal
looks...
was supposed to be for you.
I think this is supposed to be like
Now I hope you'll never see it.
we're being born. So
I
we're...
just want to meet you.
Yeah, okay, that's what I
Tell you
think.
all these stories myself.
See, we're going
I guess
toward the
if you're reading
light.
this now,
But I think we're gonna be being
things didn't work
born
out that way.
right now. And boom, enter the light.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
And there's, I think, kind of where we started. Oh no, okay, so there was another new gravestone. Okay, under the big tree. Yeah, and there's our statue. God, look at all those graves, man. I mean, just remembering that whole graveyard is just like, there's so many. And that is the game. Now we are going to get to see a bunch of these like pictures and stuff. Kind of a credits sort of a thing. But that is the game. You know, I thought about playing this after, you know, just playing it on the channel, just because I think this is a game that would translate well to a channel like this. You know, we have a lot of blind and visually impaired viewers, and like I said, it's a weird game, but like there's a lot of dialogue. There's not a lot of action. You can kind of tell a lot of what's going on by a little bit of me telling you what's going on, but you know, largely the dialogue through the story. Again, I really think that the presentation of this entire game is really well done. I mean, it was weird. It went from like just so many different angles. Like when I started, I knew very little about it. I knew that it was something about a family. I knew that it was like a first-person game, and that it was some kind of a sort of like, I gotta find a better term than a walking simulator, but I found out that it was something like that. And there were little flashbacks, but that's it. That's all I knew. So when I played this earlier today, and I'm like, oh, you know, you're walking through the house, and okay, this is interesting. You're learning stuff. You're getting some memories from this girl. And then you go into that first flashback in that little kid's room, Molly, and you know, okay, you're locked in your room for whatever reason, without supper or whatever, and then you start eating things and becoming animals and chasing things, and it just took this complete left turn that I was not expecting, and I'm so glad that wasn't spoiled for me, because that was just a genuine, like, what the hell am I what am I playing right now moment. And it just got weirder until you're like that tentacle monster and the controls are screwy, and it just, I like the little additions that they did, you know, all the different types of the way they did the flashbacks. You've got like you got that one, you've got the the imagination one is really cool with like the you know, the fish and then his imagination, because, you know, just going a little bit nuts there. And then you have, like, my other favorite one is still got to be the famous one. What was her name? Barbara, the one who was this child actor, and they were doing this like horror movie comic book flashback thing, which is, I mean, again with like the Halloween music and like using the crutch as a weapon, the cell shaded art style. The little, like the comic book Blam or, you know, Crash, those little types of things. I mean, that was just Molly and Barbara, I think, are my two favorites. I mean, they're the most out there, but just the variety that this game throws at you, I thought was really interesting. You know, and then you have the more, like, you have a couple more down-to-earth ones that just happen to be unfortunate. You know, like the hunting trip one where you're doing all the photography, and the poor guy gets just gets bashed by the deer. The swing one, that was like a really short one. You had the flip book of pictures. I'll try to remember, and I'll try to go back to see if I can remember who it was, so you can see that initial flashback of the binocular things that I had to skip in the second video because my recording was being stupid. So, but yeah, I mean, they've done so much variety that it's pretty impressive. Okay, so let me see. Okay, if I go to replay, and yeah, I think it's going to be him. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was just going to be...
When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed.
Okay,
She
I
could
didn't...
have, but she didn't.
That's a bad way to die. But okay, so yeah, this is where we came in that window, and then remember I said
You knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
You skipped the dialogue. I thought it was just going to be the actual flashbacks. No, actually, you're starting in the main overworld here in the house.
Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
But you actually start from that point. So had I known that, I thought it was just going to let us replay those little segments.
Her room was like a museum.
So now here you can see, this is the part that you missed. This is the main thing that you
For
missed.
500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Okay.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan.
Okay.
On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Yeah, that didn't work out too well.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Yeesh.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Yeah, and boy, were there a lot of gravestones to come.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
And there you go. We'll back out of that little, I forget what you call those little things. Little binocular
Whatever's wrong with
things.
this family, it goes back a long ways.
Yeah, tell me about it. So there you go. That is really what you missed. I'll go a little bit more just because I'll show you a little bit more dialogue that you might not have heard. Remember we
Even
started...
in your 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
So yeah, I didn't know that when we did the replay. I thought it was just going to let us go into little segments. But this is cool that you can basically start the story from any point of the story, any kind of perspective.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Ugh. Yeah, pink bathroom. God. That's...
It was a pretty big trace.
Yeah, I would say so. I would not want to wake up to that every morning. Yikes. But yeah, the amount of detail, like in each room kind of tells a story about the family members. And you can just kind of, what isn't said, there's a lot that gets communicated right in the environment. So basically what I had done is then there's this book on the back of the toilet, or this little thing here. So I can unlock it. Go like that. Go like that.
There's a secret in this bathroom.
So the secret in the bathroom, basically what I got to do...
It's in the last place you would look.
Yep. So it's not in there. I got to remember how this works. I'm trying to remember how to get it to go... No, get out of there.
It isn't in the cupboard.
No, it is not in the cupboard. Oh, damn it. Okay, there we go. No. Okay, you're not... Come on, you putz. Ah. Alright, it's being stupid. I'm not quite sure why it's not going up to the top there. But basically, I peel down in the painting, or I peel down and it's in the actual book. And then basically there's a lever. You pull it down and then you climb through the place. So that is the little bit of dialogue that you missed. So now you've pretty much seen everything. There's nothing that I skip. You just got to see it at the end. But yeah, that is What Remains of Edith Finch. Quite the narrative-based game, if I do say so myself. Presentation, graphics, sound, voice acting, audio. Everything is really good. Really very, very few, if any, accessibility problems whatsoever. Beautiful looking game. Really some weird twists on the gameplay, more than I thought it was going to be than just a open exploration walking game. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I think it was well worth the money that I spent. I liked it a lot. Hope you guys did too. That'll wrap it up here for this series. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I sure did. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79. And until next time, I will talk to you guys later.